we've got the old versus the new. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see if Jacob Austin Young has what it takes to keep that No Limits title.
Kenny King versus Jacob Austin Young. Kenny King, a former FSW heavyweight champion and a former FSW elite champion, looking for the singles triple crown by capturing the No Limits title.
I think if anyone in FSW is going to be the one to do it, and it's going to be Kenny. And a lot of people wouldn't expect me to say that, but quite honestly, I got a lot of respect for Kenny King. It was just business, and that's all I got to say about that.
And there is Jacob Austin Young. He has been our No Limits champion for a while now. And this is probably his biggest task here in FSW. He's defeated some great competitors of Ryan Taylor's and Willie Mack. But Kenny King, definitely a TNA and current Ring of Honor superstar as well as FSW.
That's correct. I've heard rumors of him coming over to Global Force Wrestling as well. And, you know, despite popular belief, this might actually be Jacob Austin Young's last title defense.
Yes, you know, possibly could have biting off a little more than he can chew. As you would know about that, Kevin Cross, as you've kind of stepped up and gone after people that possibly many people felt that you weren't ready for, but you've changed a lot of opinions on some people's thoughts of your progression here in FSW and in the professional wrestling business.
Well, you know, I always tell the truth, and I'll be honest with you, it's really the only way you can find out where you stand in this business. You can talk the talk, but at some point, you got to walk the walk, and here's Kenny King walking Jacob Austin Young back to the corner. Size will play a major role in this competition.
And of course, a nice clean break, something that you're not very familiar with, Kevin Cross, as Kenny King, he's the guy who pretty much helped train Jacob Austin Young.
Yeah, I've never heard of a clean break. I don't really know what that is, but here's some big pop.
And right there, Kenny King seems to be having a little fun here in Mesquite.
Yeah, this is where the mind games come in. Kenny is a veteran. He's going to get inside Jacob Austin Young's head because he knows Jacob Austin Young is a pinpoint precision guy. Jacob Austin Young will kick your face off at a moment's notice. But if Jacob Austin Young is frustrated, it leaves openings for mistakes.
And right now it looks like a little bit of a feeling out process for the first couple of minutes, but these guys know each other well from the training sessions at the FSW training facility. Jacob Austin Young and yourself, two guys, you know, from scratch right here in FSW and have progressed in the wrestling business. Kevin, you'll be at the Global Force show. That's going to be next week, and Jacob Austin Young won the tryout that Jeff Jarrett conducted.
See that? Well, when I kick his ass, everybody will see why.
I like this Kenny King. I'm glad I wasn't in the ring with him.
And Jacob Austin Young, as I said, he'll be on the Global Force show next week also. So the FSW, we're getting a lot of reach out there.
I pride myself at it coming out of Future Stars of Wrestling. I really do, because we have the hungriest guys in the business. We got a little bit of everything in this company. We've got strong style, we've got lucha, we've got technical, we've got strong style, everything. You name it, we have it, and that is a shoulder tackle, and I would definitely take a break after that.
You know, definitely a size advantage. Kenny King, not a guy normally you would see in the No Limits division, but he is a guy who wants to take on all comers, and Jacob Austin Young wants to prove that he is as good as advertised, and he wants to beat all the top guys in FSW, and to do that, you actually got to get a victory over Kenny King that you yourself have. Some people say a very tainted victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Well, a victory is a victory, V is a V. But you know what? Not that I've ever played mind games before, Joe. I'm a gentleman. But I really wonder if the mind game here is going to be a major role in this competition. Kenny's showing Jacob Austin Young pretty much everything that he knows. He's in the ring with this guy right now. And will we see Kenny King exploit that? Because Kenny knows exactly where his strong points are and his weak points are.
Well, absolutely. You know, it's the old teacher versus the student in a different capacity. There's a lot of respect between these two guys. You know, they still train with each other when Kenny is there, the new head trainer here at FSW. And once again, as we said, you know, normally that teacher versus student, there was that issue that occurred where the student thought he was better than the teacher and it became more personal. Well, this one is just about, you know, has Jacob Austin Young elevated himself to be at the top of the heap here in FSW.
A lot of people actually would say there's some controversy surrounding that. If you recall, the greatest professional wrestler probably from the year 2014 Bryce Harrison was also a guy who helped Jacob Austin Young elevate himself to the position he's in right now. Very interested to see where Bryce is going to be in the main scheme of things, provided he ever does come back. We don't know.
Well, you know, the rumor is Bryce Harrison is getting close to return from a pretty bad knee injury. We've seen him around the FSW facilities of late. He said he was going to make an appearance at our last Silverton show, and Bryce being Bryce, never showed up. So you sometimes don't know what is, as you would know, in somebody's mind. And look at that, Jacob Austin Young landing on his feet with the big knee to the back of Kenny King. And right now, showing the wrestling technical skills, Jacob Austin Young out wrestling Kenny King here in When Stars Collide 3 inside Mesquite, Nevada at the Casablanca.
I would not have expected that. I would not have expected that. I'm going to see how Kenny's going to cut him off here.
And we're getting some Kenny chants from the crowd. And it's kind of a weird situation. Both fan favorites here in FSW. So the fans pretty much undecided on who they really want to root for. Because they both have a lot of fans.
Yes, they absolutely do. That's going to be a hard one. I would definitely stay on his neck there.
And Kenny King, but look at this, Jacob Austin Young, probably about 3.5 years into this business. And he's a guy that many people said probably progressed faster than anybody in FSW history until you came along.
Oh, Jacob Austin Young is a detail guy. If you just caught that, he's got Kenny King's thumb as well. He's not just going for the shoulder and the wrist. He's going to grab everything that he possibly can, which is a trait of a very educated catch wrestler. Unfortunately, Jacob Austin Young is in the ring with a very good catch wrestler who's most likely doing the same thing to him as we speak.
And obviously, as you can see, Kenny King is in no rush. He knows this match isn't going to be won or lost in 5 or 6 minutes. And he is pacing himself. And he knows, beautiful spinning heel kick by Jacob Austin Young. He knows this match may go 12, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And he wants to be have enough cardio in the bank right there to make sure he goes. Because he knows Jacob Austin Young doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
No, he doesn't.
So he's got to wear him down. And right now, Jacob Austin Young firing away with some big right hands on Kenny King. And he's able to throw him off before he gets to the big count of 10.
Oh!
And over the top, but then Jacob Austin Young nails him with the big kick to the side of the head, goes up top with the crossbody. 1, 2.
Page out of Kenny's book.
And only a 2 count as Kenny King, the veteran that he is, he gets out of dodge, goes out to where he cannot be pinned.
That's smart. Right about now would be an excellent time to hit him with a steel chair, but I'm sure Kenny King has some other ideas up his sleeve.
You know, and the main focus right there is, you know, Kenny knows that Jacob Austin Young doesn't want to win by counting. Well, in your position, you don't care if he gets counted out. You're just worried about the victory.
Absolutely, because I'm not concerned about being the best in the world. I think that's become a cliche concept. I only care about being the best at winning at any cost. So I will do the things.
Oh, and look at that, a big right hand that Jacob Austin Young just walked into, man, knocked him out.
Yeah, I think that might actually be it. Let's stay on him, why not? In all fairness, Jacob Austin Young started throwing the punches first, as I recall.
Yeah, but he just walked right into that and just turned the match around as Kenny King on the offensive, the big body slam. Got him up again, and down he goes.
See, that is the art of wrestling. Why would you continue to do all of these different things when one thing works? It's just like a boxing match. If you can infiltrate with that jab, why not jab the entire time?
Sounds like you are taking quotes from one of our other trainers, Disco Inferno, right there.
I may. It's quite possible. He's had a little bit of an influence on me.
Nice snap suplex, and then followed up with some more right hands, and Kenny King showing a little mean streak right now on his protege.
He is. He left a little bit of room deliberately for Jake to sit up out of that cover because he wants to gas Jake out now. Kenny is known to be a distance guy. This is the guy who does not get tired. Jacob Austin Young has been in some battles and some wars, but right now he's in the ring with a guy that has never gassed out, has never had a problem going the distance. We'll see how far he's going to take him. And look at this, sending a message.
As Kenny King grabbing the belt. Not sure why he is doing that. He just gave Jakob an extra 20, 30 seconds to maybe recuperate, but I guess it didn't really matter. And Kenny knows he's in a good position right now. And Jakob fires back out of nowhere, very unorthodox with the right foot. The kick to the side of the head didn't really slow Kenny King down, though.
No, Kenny's having a hard time being able to see where those kicks are coming from. Jake's landed a couple of them. He's been able to telegraph a few things here and there, but Kenny he's on top of his game. He just can't get too comfortable.
And right now, you know, looking at this, I'm looking at it as a mistake from Kenny King. He seems to not be going for the kill.
No, you really got to wonder what the situation is here. Maybe this is a bit of a hazing thing. Maybe Kenny feels like he can put Jakob Austin away right now, but he's going to throw him a beating just so he never tries to revisit this type of situation again. He could be offended.
You know, and that definitely is a possibility because Kenny King, as we've seen him, you know, very sportsman-like kind of guy, seems like he's maybe toying with Jakob Austin Young and maybe underestimating him just a little bit right now.
You look at the situation Kenny King is in. You talk about an international superstar. I can't take that away from him. He's wrestled everywhere that really means anything and is worth anything. And you got Jakob Austin Young, a student, you know, coming up, basically trying to step in the ring with him. I mean, I would be offended.
Well,
how would you not be?
Well, you know, here's a guy who's defeated Rocky Romero, international superstar, Willie Mack, Brian Taylor, Brandon Gatson. You know, he's had some wars with some great people, so I'm pretty sure Kenny King knows that Jakob Austin Young is not to be taken lightly.
100%, without a doubt.
Especially since the last big opportunity Kenny King had inside the steel cage, he lost to you, so he's on a kind of a losing streak. But now, the running knees, and then over the top, down goes Jakob Austin Young. Can Kenny put him away? 1, 2.
Oh, look at this. Look at this, Joe. See, this is the Kenny King I remember.
I kind of blinked for a second, but are you going to tell me that Kenny King just pulled up Jakob Austin Young before the 3 count?
Handful of hair. You got to love that.
I'm not going to quit. Say you quit.
Obviously, Kenny King wants to show the younger guy up just a little bit tonight.
This is very personal. This is actually,
You know, maybe after losing to you, Kenny King has gotten a little bit of a different kind of attitude. I'm not sure.
Seeing something here, that's for sure. Wherever it's coming from a dark place, and I kind of like it.
And Kenny King has basically been dominating Jakob Austin Young for the last 8 or 10 minutes or so. And Jakob needs to regroup and figure a way out if he wants to walk out of here the No Limits champion after this. And Kenny's got him up. A delayed suplex.
Oh, too much.
And a great move as Jakob Austin Young is able to drop him into a DDT.
Jakob Austin Young's going to have to come up with some things here that Kenny King has not seen. He has to take into consideration, he has to take into account that Kenny knows everything about him. He's going to have to come up with some new things. That definitely was one of them. You can't teach that.
You know, and we've seen the arsenal of Jakob Austin Young, very innovative offense, a guy who does things that many people don't see on a normal basis. Look at that, Kenny catches him. But once again, Jakob Austin Young counters, and look at this.
Wow.
Would that be called a Frankensteiner?
That was a Frankensteiner.
And right now, Jakob Austin Young, 1, 2. And Kenny King might be regretting pulling up Jakob Austin Young just a few minutes ago.
You got to be. I was just thinking to myself, it's not out of the realm of all possibilities that Kenny just might try to be injuring Jakob Austin Young rather than just beating him. Oh, speaking of injuries, I would check his arm right now.
And almost a 3 count as Jakob Austin Young also knows the arsenal of Kenny King, who was going for the Pele kick. And that's a great maneuver, taking out the other leg. And it just sent Kenny King crashing to the mat. But Jakob has got to stay on Kenny King if he wants to get the victory here.
He's getting fired up.
And he's getting the crowd behind him. And right now, Kenny King down on the ground, and Jakob just kind of stalking him. I don't know if he's looking for the sick kick or what he's trying to do.
Maybe even just had a moment of maybe regret. maybe not.
And once again, down goes Kenny King as Jacob Austin Young. And he misses a kick, 1, 2. And the veteran almost rolls him up. And this time he hits the kick, and he's got him up. And the spine buster could be it, 1, 2. And once again, Jacob Austin Young able to kick out. A lot of resilience in this youngster, about 23 years old. Really making a name for himself in the wrestling business. Kenny King, as we all know, one of the biggest superstars in the world today, making a return to Ring of Honor.
As you're seeing now, this is very personal. It's starting to come out now. That's starting to come out.
And Kenny King firing some right hands. And Jacob Austin Young's able to chase him down, but there's Kenny with the elbow. And it seems like these guys, they're starting to wear down a little bit.
Oh, you got that right.
Double clothesline, and they are both down. Seems like these guys need to get that second or third wind because both guys moving a little slower than normal.
Right at this moment in time, when you see something like this in a match, this is the story that tells everyone who wants it more. Sometimes people don't get up. We're going to see who's going to get up first and who's going to strike first and who's going to land first. This is what's going to decide who's going to be the champion right here, right now.
You know, and these guys, they have been going at it tooth and nail for close to 17 minutes of action. And you will know, Kevin Cross, that's an eternity inside the wrestling room.
Especially when you're getting punched in your face.
And these guys, they are going back and forth, both on the ground, staggering to get up, but still firing away as Kenny King looked like he was getting the best of Jacob Austin Young. Look at it, he's using rights and lefts.
Jacob Austin Young's finding that equal level with Kenny. You can start to see in Kenny's body language, it's really starting to shake him a little bit. Oh!
Oh, and there it is, 2 big kicks to the face and the knee, and out goes Kenny King. Lands on his feet, and there comes Jacob over the top. And crashing down on a worn-down Kenny King. If Jacob could put some combinations together, he can get this victory and walk out of here as the No Limits champion.
He's getting fired up. What do we got? Again.
With the suicide dive as Kenny King goes through once again on the ground. But you can see Jacob Austin Young looks kind of gassed.
You're hitting the concrete, you're getting punched in your face, you're getting picked up and slammed. It's not really something you can really honestly train for. You can run outside, you can do your sprints, you can do your Stairmaster, you can do whatever it is that you want. You can wrestle, you can box. Nothing takes it out of you more than hitting that canvas, especially the concrete as well.
And neither guy able to follow up on what's been going on, and Jake finally catches him and pitches him inside the ring, hoping to finish off Kenny King. 1, 2. Yeah, you can't pin Kenny King after he's been laying out on the outside for a minute or so.
There's no way. There's no way. There's a pin out of desperation. He's going to need a lot more than that to put him away.
And you could see it seems like Jacob Austin Young might be questioning himself and the ability to put away Kenny King.
Well, let me ask you a question, Joe. I mean, why isn't Jacob Austin Young use a chair? I mean, I don't understand that.
Well, he can't win with the chair.
Oh.
He wants to win the match. He wants to beat Kenny King, who catches him.
Oh.
And he nails him with the Royal Flush. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
And Jacob Austin Young, Kenny King got him exactly where he wanted him to put him away with the Royal Flush. But some way, somehow, Jacob Austin Young is able to kick out and preserve the No Limits title for maybe just a little bit longer. And Kenny has got him up again like a rag doll.
Burning hammer. Just do it.
Oh, and he lands on his feet. The sick kick. 1, 2. Oh, and he kicked out. I thought it was over.
I can't believe it. There's only one thing left. It's time for him to grab a chair. I think it's time for the chair.
And Jacob Austin Young, it looked like he was able to do it. He reversed the move by Kenny King, nailed him with the kick. But somehow Kenny King, a man that Jacob Austin Young has pinned many guys with that move.
He definitely has. Hypothetically speaking, would I get suspended if I just, I don't know, accidentally slipped the chair in the ring? I'm not going to hit anybody.
I don't know if he'd be suspended, but or I don't even know if he would be disqualified if he didn't use the chair.
I'll just throw it in there. If somebody wants to use it, they can. Well, what do we got here?
And look at this. Kenny King catches him.
Again, do it again.
And he's got him up. And look at this
Whoa,
roll-up.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
2, 3.
No!
And out of nowhere, Jacob Austin Young.
Look at his face.
And Kenny King could not believe it. The youngster, Jacob Austin Young, fighting tooth and nail. He is able to pull the victory out of nowhere and retain the No Limits title here at When Stars Collide 3. Kenny King,
Wow.
you could see the frustration. He thought he had the match won, and he actually did a little earlier, but wanted to teach, I guess, a little life lesson to Jacob Austin Young, but in turn, I believe Kenny King learned a lesson tonight.
I'm absolutely blown away. And with all due respect to Jacob Austin Young, that has got to be probably one of the biggest underdog wins of his career. You have to take everything into consideration. He had this match won. Kenny King had this match won several times.
You know, definitely a guy in line, as well as you, Kevin Cross, for Wrestler of the Year, Jacob Austin Young, with some great wins on the resume.
Get the chair. Get the chair. Get the chair.
And capping it off with Kenny King tonight.
What about this?
Here on High Octane. And what is Kenny King going to do? A hard-fought match. And Kenny King did some things that we normally don't see, but I guess
No.
Jacob Austin Young passed the test. Kenny King very proud of the performance of Jacob Austin Young here in the Mesquite, Nevada at the Casablanca. Big victory, the biggest victory. Oh, and look at this. And here comes Ryan Taylor and Brandon Gatson. And these are two guys that they have gone to war with Jacob Austin Young, and obviously they want to be next in line. Many people felt Gatson was supposed to get the title
That's
shot.
Paul London.
And Paul London coming in. And we saw a couple of weeks ago Paul London make his return to FSW. And it looks like these guys are outnumbered, but they wanted to get their hands on Jacob Austin Young, Ryan Taylor, and Brandon Gatson. And right now it's 3-on-2, so I'm pretty sure those guys, unless you want to help them out, Kevin Cross, to even up the odds.
Oh, if I can use that steel chair and I'm positive I'm not going to get suspended, I mean, that's fine with me.
And that is going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you, Kevin Cross. We'll see you again next week.